Feeling a little art craft crazy? Hi, I'm Donna from ArtCraftCrazy, and today I'm going to show you how I make this little miniature passport charm. It can be used to hang off your traveller's notebook or your journal, and you can also use this tiny little replica passport as an embellishment. I've made one to put on an ACT card, and you can also use it in a junk journal, a travel journal, or in your scrapbooking. The pages turn, and I've used real passport pages, and if you don't want to make these mini passports, they're available right now in my ArtCraftCrazy shop on my website. I've got two PDFs for you to download. You can either download the instructions or you can just follow the video here on how to make it, but you will need to download the printable to get the cover of the passport. I've got the Australian version and the USA version. Now make sure that you've got your printer settings done correctly. You'll need to be at 100%. so it prints out at the correct size. You need to be in portrait mode, and you need to be on your laser printer. That is very important to select laser printing. Once you've made sure all your selections are okay, you can go and click the black and white if your laser is a colour laser printer. Just make sure you're only printing in the black, and then hit your print button. And of course you'll have your blue cardstock loaded into your printer. You want to be printing directly onto the blue cardstock, which is the cover of your mini passport. Now I've printed the border, and we're going to use this as our guideline for cutting after we've set the gold on. Now it's the heat reactive foil. You just cut a small piece off. You only need enough just to cover these 4 covers that we're going to make today. Now there's some printing at the bottom of this PDF. You need to cut that off. So I'm just going to quickly cut the 4 covers off at the top. You don't need to put that bottom bit through. Just place this into the carrier sheet. Now I'm using a mink. You can use a laminator. I find it's best to put this through in portrait position, so head first. I've got my setting on 4 because it's cardstock. If it was paper, you might only need 3. Now this took so well that when I opened it, it just fell off. Usually you peel it off because it's so small. So it worked out really well. And now I'm just going to use, you can use a guillotine, but I've got more control when I use a ruler and a craft knife, and just cut out each individual book cover. It doesn't matter if you leave a little bit of the gold on, because when we finish making the book, we're going to trim it again. Now that's our covers all cut, and we've got to fold them down the centre so we've got a front and a back cover. So just find the centre, and it's best to score it. Now don't use anything too thick because it's a small cover, so I've just found something that's blunt. You don't want anything sharp or you'll pierce through your cover. And just score down the centre and fold it. Now to make the pages. If you've got an old cancelled passport, use that. It's really effective when you use the passport pages. If not, just use some parchment paper. All I done was just get my craft knife and cut down the centre, and it just released easily. You can use the template that I've got on the printable, or you can just use your cover, and make your pages bigger than your cover, because once they're cut, we're going to trim them back so they're all neat. And you'll see why I'm doing this in a second when I finish cutting these out. Same when you're going across the width of the book. Make them longer. You want all of the inner pages bigger than the cover. And you can actually place them. I've taken a bit of care here because they're passport pages. I've placed my pages over the printed area in the passport where I want it to look the best, making use of all the stamps and the images, the watermarks, and then just fold them in half. You can put 2 or 3 pieces in, that'll double up and give you 6 or more pages. You don't want it too thick. And see how they creep out when you put them all together? Now I'm going to put one staple in the center, and once it's stapled together, make sure it's snug, that all those folds from the center inner pages are matching the cover. And once you've got it in place, just put one of your smallest staplers that you've got and just punch that straight down the center. You can fold it over and use your bone folder to just give that a little push down. And now we're going to trim all of these hanging out pages level with the cover. If you've got any gold on your cover from where you cut it out earlier, now's the time to cut that off. You only need to cut the tiniest amount off. Make sure the blade on your craft knife is quite sharp for this. It does make a big difference. Hold your ruler down quite firm too, because the book is so small it will move around otherwise. So hold it down firm and just slowly cut into those pages. Take your time or it will move around. And because it's so small, it'll show if you cut it crooked. So do the top and bottom, and then the side of the book. Check to see if the front and the back are the same. If not, you'll know which one you've got to chop a bit more off. This tidies it right up and makes all the pages even. So when those pages creep out when you folded them, that won't matter now because they'll be all even. That's your passport made. Now you can make that into a charm or just leave it as an embellishment. And this is a parchment paper that I used. If you haven't got access to a passport, just use parchment paper. It's a bit easier for this one because you can mark it out with a pencil. So just pencil out all your pages and just cut them. I've put the measurements here on the instruction printable. I don't have to worry about stamping or watermarks, but you could put your own stamps on here if you've got some Traveller's rubber stamps in your craft kit. Same again, just put the pages together, push them right into the crease of the fold, open it up and use your fingers, feeling that they're all in place, and throw another stapler in the middle and trim it up. By the way, if you don't want to make these mini passports, I have them for sale in my ArtCraftCrazy shop. They're called miniature passport charms, so feel free to check that out if you like. I'm Donna from ArtCraftCrazy. Thanks for watching and bye for now.